Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 50-point game of my Darius up against Abyslonia. So this will be trying out one of the new missions here for the new Steamroller, and what this mission is all about is that there's a zone, and on your side there's two friendly objectives, they're monoliths, and on the other side there's two enemy ones. Pretty much what you need to do is you get 1 point for every enemy one you destroy, 1 point for controlling the zone, and 2 points for dominating it. You need 5 to win. One of the things that I've kind of learned since my last game is that actually you have to really worry about these enemy monoliths because they actually contest the zone. So until you destroy those monoliths, you can't score any points in the zone. Either way, this is going to be my first time running my Tier 4 Darius list, and so I get some pretty cool things from that. I get all my jacks 1 point cheaper, I get Pathfinder first turn, free 2-inch extra deployment, and also a free UA on my Sword Knights. But in order to do that, what I need to have here is I got 2 units of Sword Knights, just the smallest size. I got a Defender, I got Darius of course and his half-jacks, a Centurion, a Thunderhead, I have the Stormclad, I have the Hammerhead, then I also have Arlen Strangeways, and a Squire. So, you know, still 5 jacks in there, and the way it works out is actually 7 free points in this list, so that's pretty cool. Up on the other side there is Abyslonia from Legion of Everblight, and he has his Striders on the left with UA, then he has a Shepherd, he has a Raic, an Angelus, then he has a Typhon, Scythian, there's one Shredder in there, there's 2 Forsaken that he forgot to put down, but they'll be down later, and then there's of course Abyslonia behind that one hut there on the right. So really looking at this game, it really kind of gave me the advantage, because I do have kind of the range advantage. I mean, between the Defender and the shots from the Thunderhead, that's pretty awesome. But what I really want to do is not deal with the Striders. That's why I have my Sword Knights on the left, just to distract him. I want to go up, I want to focus and take out his heavies so to make his feet useless. I'm sure he's going to try and do the same thing to me. However, I feel that I'll have my super armor on the Centurion will be a bigger deal than his super defense on the Angelus, just because I can boost and get past it, whereas he has to really only have 1 armor piercing attack. And then overall, I have more heavies than he does, so I should have kind of the advantage there. But we'll kind of see how this kind of plays out, of course. So I have first turn, and for the most part I'm just putting Fortify onto my Centurion, casting the full throttle, everything moving up. One of the things I was having a little trouble here on the right is that my Sword Knights, even with marching up, I'm still getting in the way of my jacks, so I was kind of kicking myself because I didn't do my normal thing of also doing the crane on the Centurion, but really that really wouldn't change too much anyway. And then on the left, my Sword Knights are just going to go more to the flank to, again, try and draw out his Striders. His turn 1, he's really just taking the center of the board. He did have a little bit of a mix-up here, and he forgot to put on the Forced Evolution onto the Angelus before it moved up, so all of a sudden I'm seeing it as a good target to try and damage that thing before he actually get up his the defense to be super high crazy. But the other thing going here is when I started looking at this, I thought, well, you know what? I don't even care about the fact that he's holding the zone, because let's say I don't even bother going in there, right? Well, he can't even control it on his turn, because you can only attack 1 the monoliths per turn, so this turn he'd have to destroy 1. Next turn, he would have to destroy another. At that point, he could control it, but then at that point, I could just go into the zone, make sure he doesn't get his last one, and win. So, really, this is where I kind of dawned on me that with this new setup, you don't even really care about contesting the center of the board. You can really sit back for quite a few turns and shoot him up. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll have that much time to really be doing all this, but it's at least something I can play with. So on my turn, I have the Sword Knights run up just to kind of bog things down and make trouble for him. I go and I put some focus onto the Defender so he could shoot into Angelus, but rolled a little bit low on damage. And then I also had 3 focus on the Thunderhead so I could move within 10 and do some zaps into him too. Especially because, I mean, once I hit the first time, it sustained assault and all this. But yeah, I just missed my first shot, had to buy and boost another one. I think I hit that one, but then rolled exactly enough to do no damage. So whereas I had hoped to do half damage to the Angelus or more, on this first turn here and really make him think if he should be popping an early feat. I did almost nothing, and it kind of doesn't matter at all. So that was kind of too bad. Otherwise, I have it so that he can't charge my Centurion and do his big bash there, and everything else is just kind of up and ready to counter. And actually, I forgot to even activate my Sword Knights, but I mean, props to my opponent for letting me do it after anyway. And so really all I'm doing with them is just running up, tying up one of them, and the rest are here to kind of counter him. Again, just trying to be a real distraction. His turn 2 then, on the left side, he tries to do some focusing onto the Sword Knights, but really only kills the one there, so I was happy with that. He was able to kill one of my half-jacks with some of the other shots, but or was it a Sword Knight? I don't know. But either way, the main thing is that they didn't really do any major damage, anything big. He came up and did the big, huge smash with the Angelus into the Thunderhead and did a ton of damage there. He got a little bit gummed up with my guys in the back where his Forsaken tried killing it, failed. Then the Scythian went up and had to kill the two there, but he's made kind of the mistake where he forgot to load up his Forsaken with any fury in these first couple of turns, so that's causing him some issues. And then the thing he did is his Raic went and he tied up my defender, so I'd stop doing big shots into him. And then the Typhon, actually this happened before the Angelus, came in and did some of his gunfighter sprays, and he actually did 5 or 6 damage to Darius already, because with this opponent he always has an eye out in the caster kill. My turn 3 then, and these were my, first of all I had some choices to make. With my Crane I could either get the Thunderhead to the left side to go and pulse and kill all those Striders really, or I could be going over and using the Crane so I could charge the Stormclad into the Scythian. Now when that came down to it, even though I'd love to get rid of that Scythian, the whole thing is that in this situation, if I don't kill him, he's just going to feat and completely heal. Whereas with the Thunderhead, that'd be a sure thing. So that's what I do with the Thunderhead. I use Strange Ways in order to go and make him so he has evasive. I have 2 half-jacks to go up and heal him so he can get his stuff back because he had lost his Cortex and movement. Then I go with Darius, I crane him over, and he zaps and he kills my 2 half-jacks, but he also kills all the Striders that were there. And this is where I realize I'm a retard, because then he puts down all these tokens for his Incubi to pop up. And I mean, it's something where I saw them in his cards to begin with. He'd reminded me about them just to make sure that I knew in the previous turn, and then here I am. So my half-dead Thunderhead is easy going to be killed by these Incubi now, and that totally wasn't worth it whatsoever. Meanwhile, my guys attacking on his Striders on the left, either all whiff or the one that hit the champion and did 4 damage out of 5, which might have been nothing. So that was kind of sad. My defender went and hit the Raic and did a whole bunch of damage there, 14 or something. And then I did some charges here. I had the flanking Sword Knights come in, and I wasn't able to kill his Forsaken at the top, but I did some damage into the Typhon. And the main thing I was trying to kill here was his Angelus, so I go in with my Centurion with 3, and I just can't hit to save my life, and I eventually do, but with like my last one, I do a tiny bit of damage. Come over with the Stormcloud in order to try and finish him off, and again having lots of trouble trying to hit that thing, and in the end leaving it with 1 damage box left. Oh, couldn't believe it. And that was pretty painful, because now he's just going to pop his feet and heal all his beasts. It's like I did nothing whatsoever. And yeah, just trying to show this off here, where it's actually a neat balance between these 2 casters, where my feat is where I completely fix my jacks, his feat is to completely heal up his beasts, and it's one of those things where the only way to get around that feat is to completely destroy something in one go so that he can't fix it. And if you ever fall short, it's as if you never did it at all. But on his turn, he decided to put me out of my mercy anyway. First of all, he had his Forsaken come in, do some damage. Then his Scythian had a charge I didn't really notice, and he was able to get into my Hammersmith and finish it off. Forsaken then, taking off the Fury and all that fun stuff. And then, he did a big smash into my Centurion, nothing too much there, and so I was feeling pretty good. But then a Typhon went and started doing its sprays, and this is where I realized I was an idiot. Actually, just before this, the Raic came over, did a headbutt, and knocked down my Darius. And the thing is here is that he had already done a spray to me. So I knew I was in perfect range already for him to hit me, and for some reason I just did not think of it. And so of course he's pretty much auto-hitting me, spray, 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 and we have a dead Darius. So victory to Abyslonia and Legion of Everblight, and really this was a couple of things that went into this game. First of all was just a little bit of bad dice in there and stuff where, the Angelus could have been dead or had more damage before, blah 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 and all these things. But really what this came down to was just me misgauging the threats. And I mean, the only thing where I can kind of give a reason of why I'd be making the Angelus such a high priority is that another one of his main lists he runs is one with Epic Veil with the 2 Angelus, and they just rape me beyond belief. And so whenever I see it there, I just want to take that thing off the table. Of course, too, and when you have a high or a list that's all based on armor, taking out the armor-piercing thing is always a good thing, too. But another thing, too, between us, it's the difference in the play styles. Whenever I play, I automatically think of attrition, and whenever he plays, he automatically thinks about the caster kill. And one of the things I've done in the past with Darius to try and help this is I've taken something like the Sentinel, but to try and be the shield guard. And so, unfortunately, in the tier list, you can't take that. Something I could be then instead taking is what is it called, like the Templar or something. Oh god, I can't remember its name right now, but it's the one that has the Gallant. There you go. It's the one with the magical sword and actually has the shield guard as well. So maybe I need to switch out a Jack to get that one in. Probably the better idea is just not to be stupid. Between my Centurion and the Stormcloud, there's no reason why I couldn't have killed Typhon that turn, especially with a sustained attack and all those things going on. So really just kind of misplayed this game, and he punished me for it. But if nothing else, I got to try out the Darius tier 4 list, and I actually liked it quite a bit. I mean, when you really look at it, I'm getting almost a lot of those Sword Knights for pretty much for free. Also the 2 inches of deployment and all that stuff. So planning to try it out more in the future. So hope you guys liked it. Bye.